BetaAlanine in the range of 3 to possibly 6 grams a day may result in increased muscular endurance in athletes and improved body composition. And what's that? More muscle, less fat. Coach Greg, and in today's video, we're going over evidence or science-based supplements that bodybuilders should be taking in their off-season if they want to maximize the ability to build muscle. That's right, evidence-based, science-based. Not what I think, but what the research shows or tries to prove actually works. The article is written by Dr. Eric Helms, highly respected researcher in the field of kinesiology, building muscle, and so on, and others. Nutritional recommendations for bodybuilders in the off-season, a narrative review. I strongly suggest you read the entire article. It's going to be linked in the description. You can read all about it in terms of fats, protein, carbs, nutrient timing, all of this stuff. But in today's video, we're focusing on the supplements. And in case you're thinking this doesn't apply to you because you're not a competitive bodybuilder in the off-season, well, are you trying to build muscle? And are you not actively dieting down for a competition? If your goal is to build muscle and you're not dieting to get shredded right now, this applies to you. And let me remind you, these are natural supplements, not banned by WADA. You can take it, anyone can take it with the advice of your doctor and all that good stuff, but anyone can take these. And no, I'm not saying all of you should take this and teenagers and so, but it's supplements that do in fact work. And as far as dietary supplements go, well, this is what off-season bodybuilders seem to be taking. Protein supplementation, 86%. Creatine, 68%. BCAA, 67%. Even though people seem to think they don't work, 67% are using them. Personally, I think it works. Sorry, just saying what I think. It's not based on science, based on what I think. Glutamine, 42%, vitamins, 40%, fish oil, 37%, and caffeine, ephedrine-containing products, 24%. Personally, I think these are underreported. I do believe a lot more than this amount of off-season bodybuilders are taking these products. And so because BCAAs, EAs is essentially protein, and protein is food, we're not going to go that in this particular video. We're going to keep it to actual supplements. The first supplement we're going to talk about, it's BetaAlanine. And what does BetaAlanine do? BetaAlanine increases muscle carnosine levels, and that allows the muscles to buffer lactic acid. It prevents you from getting that crazy burn at the end, allows you to push a little bit further. How many have gone to failure beyond on a long set of squats, leg press, or riding your bike up a hill, sprinting, and so on? If you can delay that onset of fatigue, you can train harder than last time. A meta-analysis involving several studies, different sports, athletes, and so on, they examined all this research and they came to the conclusion that BetaAlanine may in fact improve exercise performance in exercises that are of high intensities between 1 and 4 minutes in duration. They did not, however, prove that this was beneficial for exercises below 60 seconds. These researchers believe that supplementing with BetaAlanine in the range of 3 to possibly 6 grams a day may result in increased muscular endurance in athletes and improved body composition. And what's that? More muscle, less fat. Given that bodybuilders often train with more than 10 repetitions per set and oftentimes include intensity techniques such as drop sets, rest pauses, myo reps, and others, BetaAlanine might yield a benefit in endurance of these sets. And so what does that mean? Well, to me, it means this. If you're a power lifter, Olympic lifter, or you just like to train really heavy for low reps, BetaAlanine probably not going to help you. But if you go to the gym, you do supersets, drop sets, partial reps at the end of a set, time under tension sets. You superset from one exercise to the next. You don't rest as long between sets. And you rely more on your anaerobic lactic power or endurance, that BetaAlanine might help you. And why don't we know exactly how much it helps? Because it's hard. They're looking at multiple studies using multiple different types of athletes in different sports. Hard to say how much it's going to help you increase your bench press when they're examining cyclists, rowers, jumpers, sprinters, runners, and so on. It would be easy if they took 1,000 resistance-trained bodybuilders and said, hey, half of you are going to take this and half of you not, and we're not going to tell you, and see what the results are. But they don't have this research. But based on what they did see, there is potential benefits to beta-alanine. But don't expect to get these benefits on the first day. Unlike caffeine, you can take it the first day and feel it. Beta-alanine, although you might feel it working, it's not going to give you that exercise performance bonus until probably around 4 weeks, until you get more and more of it in your system. I should caution you, if you've never taken beta-alanine before, take your time getting used to this, because it can in fact cause an itchy feeling or paresthesis in some individuals. So please don't go and take a ton of this on your first try. Start slow and ease into it. The next supplement, Citrulline Malate. Consumption of 8 grams citrulline malate has been shown to increase repetitions to failure by as much as 50%, decrease muscle soreness by 40%, and improve maximum strength and anaerobic power. Well, it does this through increased ATP production, which is what you use for energy in the gym when you do a set ATP, as well as its ability to act as a buffering agent. So with less lactic acid, more ATP production, you can do sets longer than last time. Longer sets, training harder, can lead to more muscle growth. And in case you're thinking it's too good to be true, well, it probably is. It probably is. 2 other studies didn't show this. They weren't any better. So some studies are going to say, yep, it works. Others are going to say, nope, it doesn't work. That is why you can never go to just one study and say, here's proof. It works. Here's proof. It doesn't work. If studies are very small, not done for a long period of time, or we're measuring small changes, it might in fact be beneficial but not show any significant change. And so it might end up not being statistically significant. It might work, but it might not prove that it works, at least beyond statistical significance. Consider this example. Heads or tails? 50-50 heads, 50-50 tails. What if I sandpaper down a little bit on one side, just a little bit? Can't see it, can't notice it. And I flipped a coin, it's more likely going to land on one side than the other. Maybe rather than 50-50, it's 49-51. That is a change. But if I flip a coin 100 times and 49 times it's heads and 51 times it's tails, does that prove that it's lopsided and it's not fair and its tails have been shaved off? Of course not. But it's just too hard to prove with only 100 flips. Technically, you could flip it 100 times and it could be 100 heads in a row and you still don't know. It could have been a fluke. So think of this. If you had a study trying to prove that the coin has been sanded off and you flip the coin and it's 4 times heads and 6 times tails, does that prove that you manipulated the coin? No, it could have been a fluke. Could have been the law of averages. Sometimes you're going to flip it 6 times, others 4. Even if you flip the coin 10 times and it's heads every time, it doesn't prove anything. So imagine when trying to do a study to show that beta-alanine can help you, maybe it helps 1%, 2, 3%. How hard is that to show, to prove? Very hard. So understand this, when looking at studies and doing research, it's not always clear as mud. It's quite unclear. You need to do multiple research over multiple years, decades, before we really know if it actually works. So though some studies are saying citrulline malate, oh my goodness, unbelievable, others are saying, maybe not. But as of right now, 8 grams citrulline supplemented before working out does seem to have benefit for most bodybuilders in the off season. Caffeine, one of the most widely used drugs in the world we don't really think is a drug. It's caffeine. It's a stimulant. Oftentimes we take it as a pre-workout. But how much should you take and what does it do? Well, caffeine allows you to go harder, longer, and feel like you're not training as hard. Decreased rate of perceived exertion. You're riding on the bike and you don't feel like you're going that hard, but you actually are. Huge benefit. Definitely one of the best, most scientifically proven ergonomic aids that you can take. So much so that it was once banned in the Olympics because they're like, hey, it's giving them an advantage. And how much should you take? Well, up to a max of 6 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. And I'm close to 90 kilograms. So for me, that would be a little bit over 500 milligrams. That is a hefty dose. But consider that when you're taking pre-workout, you're probably taking less caffeine than that, but you're also taking other stimulants. So consider the cumulative effect of all the stimulants in your pre-workout. But if you're just taking caffeine, probably 5 to 6 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. Not used to caffeine, I urge you and I caution you, please don't start at this dose. Start small and only increase the dose if your body can handle it. And before taking caffeine, do so with the advice of your doctor. Some people do get anxious, they can't handle it, they can't sleep, so be careful when using caffeine and or other stimulants. And what about multivitamin or mineral supplements? Well, these are off-season bodybuilders, not on restrictive diets and not eating the same thing every single day. For these individuals, they don't really need multivitamins or minerals unless they're deficient. And so it is suggested that you do take a multivitamin with up to 100% of the recommended daily allowance for these micronutrients, minerals, vitamins, and so on. But if you are dieting or eating a bland diet or cutting out certain food groups, then obviously being deficient in a vitamin is going to lead to decrease in performance. And so it's more important for people who are dieting and being on restrictive diets and not eating all food groups to supplement with vitamins. And so what do I suggest? Eat a varied diet. Don't cut out certain food groups. Eat a variety of different foods, and you're probably going to be good. If you are a little worried and you are a little restrictive, maybe not eating as healthy, then do get a multivitamin. And what about omega-3 fatty acids? Well, as of right now, there is no literature to support the fact that this will help in creating hypertrophy. However, doesn't mean you shouldn't supplement with it. Omega-3 supplementation, EPA, DHA, 2 to 3 grams a day has been shown to have a number of health benefits. These include going to the glasses, reducing symptoms of depression, decreased risk of cardiac death, decreased blood pressure, and decreased waist circumference. And so if that isn't reason enough, well, I don't know what is. If all you care about is building muscle and not about being healthy, then well, who cares? Don't worry about omega-3s. But if you care about your health, it seems very important to me. And I should point out, if you're eating a diet high in omega-3s already, a lot of fatty fish, then, well, you probably don't need this supplement either. And so although this is beneficial information, I should point out there are limitations here. These studies didn't use a large number of bodybuilders in the off season, and they didn't study them for decades. How do we really know what really works and exactly how much effective it's going to be without these studies? We simply can't. So obviously it's a guess, and people have different opinions on different things. Some people are going to say BetaAlanine, it's junk, no one should use it. Others like me are going to say it is amazing and I really feel it works. So in the end, it really boils down to what research do you believe in? What do you want to take? What can you afford to take? What do you need to take? These are supplements which go in addition to your diet. You should be already eating healthy, already training and sleeping well. If you want to take supplements, take them. And if you don't, don't. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette, IPE Pro. Please watch the bloops. Harder than last time supplements, including some of the ones we talked about here. Click the link in the description. Also, testosterone, which was not studied. Not studied yet. Studies will come out in the future. Subscribe, click the bell button. Purchase the cookbooks, the training books, coaching plans by me and my team. And until next time, I am out.